1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 questions. And I'm going to attempt all the 8 questions. The first question was from Francis, NTA. And you wanted to know what measures we are putting in place to contain the threats of violence and the threat of protest. Well, I want to tell you that we are prepared for protest. We are going to respond to all acts of protest in the most professional manner. And one of the reasons why this meeting was also convened is to take intelligence reports from the state commands, and we all analyze all the reports together in this conference. So we are prepared, and I want to assure you that we will manage the protest in the most professional way. Let me not say more than that for now. Then Ada from AIT. Ada wants to know what we are doing to curb the menace of oil theft in Nigeria. In my speech, in my address just now, I mentioned that we have taken steps to reorganize and reposition the IGP task force on pipeline vandalism, and that we have started getting results from that. Recently, first PRO, where the achievements you... I asked the first PRO to brief the press on the recent achievements of the special task force on pipeline vandalism. Because, yeah. Within the last 2 weeks, the task force intercepted 9 trucks, 3 wooden boats, and 3 cars, recovering approximately 195,000 liters of crude oil, 73,500 liters of automotive gas oil, and 130 jerrycans of premium motor spirits, PMS. Key operations included the seizure of illicit petroleum products in Kaduna, Katsina, Lagos, Imo, Port Harcourt, Rivers, Adamawa, and Enugu states. Okay, this is within the last 2 weeks. We have just appointed a new commander for the special task force, and we have equipping them with what they need to function effectively. So you are going to start seeing results. They have started. And we are also taking part in all the task forces that have been put together by the federal government in fighting this menace of crude oil theft. So we are doing a lot. And don't also forget that our vision is to also place a police force that will support the agenda of government in its effort towards economic recovery, social integration, and political development of our country. So all this that we are doing in line with our policing vision. And we are committed to it. I don't know if I was able to answer that question correctly, the way you want it. If not, you can ask for clarification. Lucky from Channels. You said that I've already judged the protest to be violent, and that the citizens, of course, have rights to protest. If you listen to my address, I said we will remain committed to providing protection for those who engage in peaceful protest. That I made very clear in my address. If the protest is peaceful, you will see us protecting the protesters for as long as they remain peaceful. But we have a duty to protect lives and property. So we will not sit back and watch hoodlums burning down our facilities in the name of protest. That we will not condone. So we are not against peaceful protests. We will support peaceful protests. We will protect those who engage in peaceful protest. Then Shegun of Tribune, you have concern with Cooperative. I don't know where you got that from, but you may be right. I will look into it. I'm just hearing that those who retired are not, they are finding it difficult getting their savings from the cooperatives. I'll find out what is happening. And if that is truly happening, we are going to take immediate measures to remedy it. Joseph from Daily Independence newspaper, you said that since kinetic effort is not yielding the desired results, why are we not trying non-kinetic approach? I want to tell you that what we have been doing is combining both kinetic and non-kinetic approaches in solving our security challenges in Nigeria. We are committed to non-kinetic approach. You will see our commissioners of police engaging in sensitizing our communities, DPOs having meetings with different groups in their communities. All these are part of the non-kinetic approach. Then Odita wanted to know how we intend to balance the right of citizens to protest and the need to maintain law and order. That has always been a challenge. But it is not a challenge if the protest is peaceful. It becomes a challenge if the protest is violent. But I have always said that the right to protest is the right to peaceful protest. No civilized society will tolerate violent protest. Violent protest is criminal, but peaceful protest is a right. So if the protesters come out and they are peaceful, there is no challenge. There is no difficulty in balancing their rights to protest and our duty to maintain law and order. Because everything will just go on seamlessly. Then the second part of the question says that how will the police manage the clash between violent protesters and the peaceful and silent majority? Well, what I will say here is I will just use this opportunity to appeal to the youths of Nigeria. Youths of Nigeria should please ignore anybody inciting them into violence. There have been calls. People have been calling on youths to come out, to come and replicate what they did in Kenya, in Nigeria. They should copy and paste what happened in Kenya, in Nigeria. We already have our own fair share of violent protests. We have had series of violent protests in Nigeria. There was the SAP riot of 1989. There was the students' crisis of 1986, the ABU crisis of 1986, the Ali Must Go protest of 1978. So we have had our own fair share of violent protests in Nigeria. The most recent is the NSAS crisis of 2020, where apart from innocent lives that were lost, there was mega destruction to public infrastructure, especially in Lagos. There was unprecedented destruction and looting of private businesses, worth trillions of naira. Job losses were in several thousands. Loss of revenue due to productive hours lost, calculated to be in several billions of naira. And what we have left? Insecurity took over post-EndSARS crisis. All those places where police stations were burnt down, go and ask them if they want any protest. Go and hear them. Let them share their experience with you. All those areas where they burned down police stations, criminal gangs took over. Armed robbers terrorizing them. Young ladies cannot come out once it is 7 p.m. Several women raped. People were calling for the return of the police. So it is usually from violent protest to violent crime. That's what follows. After the violent protest, what follows is violent crime. All the arms looted from police armories are in the hands of criminals, now terrorizing members of the public. Is that what we want again? Anybody calling the youth to come out of violent protest, they don't like the youths. So I am using this opportunity to call on Nigerian youths to shun violent protest. They should not be used for violent protest. Violent protest does not bring any positive result anywhere. It leaves in its trail tears, sorrows. And that is why you rightly said that the silent majority have vowed that they are going to wait for these people who want to destroy our communities. These are unpatriotic elements who don't even believe in the country. They just want to burn down our country. And many of them who are inciting this violence, they are abroad. They are not in Nigeria. We have checked them out on social media. They are not living in Nigeria. They stay abroad and inciting youths do what they did in Kenya. As if we have not. What happened in Kenya that has not happened in Nigeria before? So this is a delicate time to want to engage in any form of violence. And all Nigerians should come together and say no to violent protest. Not any form of violence. It's just going to leave us worse off. I know so many people who lost their jobs after the EndSARS crisis. Their business burnt down, warehouses looted. And here we are in 2024. We want a repeat. Only criminal gangs are calling for a repeat of what happened in 2020. Yes, we know that there is hunger. Times are hard. But government is doing their best to ameliorate the suffering of Nigerians. A lot of measures have been put in place. Government is already hearing the cries of the people. Even governors at their own level are trying their best to make sure that things in their states are stable. And this is not happening only in Nigeria. It's a global meltdown. I know some people who left Nigeria because they felt Nigeria was hard. Now they want to come back because where they went is even harder. Just 2 days ago, I was having a phone conversation with a friend who is a doctor in Canada. And she was telling me that in her clinic, they arranged to distribute foodstuffs to people in their neighborhood. And that she was surprised to see the number of people that came out to come and collect the food package that they wanted to give to the needy in their neighborhood. That people turn out just to come and collect bread, come and collect spaghetti in faraway Canada, developed country. So what is happening in Nigeria is not happening only in Nigeria. It's a global problem. And governments of these countries are trying their best to help their citizens. Our government too is doing their best. They are not sleeping. They are even more concerned.